The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Trevor, it's the holidays, okay? Don't say anything bad about the Vancouver Canucks. It's only game 9. It's like Christmas in a couple of weeks, man.
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Damn, Kyle. So you want me to say nothing negative after the Canucks lose 6-0 to the New Jersey Devils, their worst loss in 3 years. Okay, that's the only negative thing I'll say. I'm Trevor Beggs. Welcome to another episode of Locked On Canucks. And as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Kyle Bowen. And man, oh man, you and I just sat through about 2.5 hours of hell, man. I thought like I had seen the devil himself. And, here on the postgame show, we'll get to all your comments because there's a lot to talk about. Again, Kyle, I'm gonna throw out the trivia, man. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Let's start off with a little jingle, buddy. All right.
Trevor's trivia starts now.
Okay, we just lost 6-0, and now I gotta do a pop quiz, Trevor. Come on,
yeah,
man.
You sure do. So the last time the Canucks lost by 6 goals,
Whoa.
Who did they lose to?
Damn. What's our worst loss last year against Philadelphia? I don't know if it was like by 6 goals, though.
No. So the Canucks haven't lost by 6 goals in 3 years when they lost to Cale Makar and the Colorado Avalanche 7-1
Trevor,
back in November of 2021.
I thought you meant like, it was our worst loss in 3 years, not just based on the scoreboard, just based on like the theatrics, based on like the storyline. This was by far and away though the worst loss in Rick Tocchet's tenure with the Vancouver Canucks. That it was just so unmotivating. Okay, let's get straight to the comments though, and let you guys run the show straight up. Trevor and I watched the game, but you watched it as well, and you guys lead the charge. Okay, so many places to start. Okay, for real. And how about this? Let's start with this. Jason McCoy saying, "What the hell?" I think his keyboard died, or he just went to sleep right away because he don't even want to live through this right now. So he just popped some melatonin. He couldn't finish his sentence, but I think he said, "What the hell is wrong with our power play?" Trevor, we've talked about this for 2 straight episodes. Please say something new.
Look, the thing that bugged me today about the power play, I mean, it's completely lacking juice. I mean, we talk about Pettersson losing his mojo and Pettersson going soft. I mean, nothing made my pee-pee softer than watching this pee-pee absolutely lick the rear end of a donkey, man. It was terrible out there, man. It was terrible. And they struggle so hard to get into possession in the offensive zone. They struggle to move the puck around. Like, it's just lacking mojo right now. And Kyle, I'm not sure what pisses me off more, the Canucks power play or the randomness in which Rick Tocchet shuffled his power play tonight. Kyle, we talked about it, earlier today about how to fix the power play. Actually, it might have been yesterday. It doesn't matter. And I just feel like today when they set up the power play and had different combinations, it was completely random. Like, I talked about having Besser and DeBrusk on different units because they're both the net front guys and they're both in the same unit and they both look completely lost out there. You had Philip Hronek on the first unit, then Quinn Hughes on the first unit later on, and then Quinn Hughes with a bunch of other guys. It just felt like there was no plan. It was just like, okay, we had one bad power play. Let's just throw things in a blender. I wish there was some more thought put into the actual formation of the power play. I mean, we saw how bad it was. Why was there not a plan B in this game?
The irony in all of that is there's just so much overthinking going on with the main 5. We can stick to them, okay? I feel as if they really killed any chance of us having anything in this game based on how they performed on that 4-minute double minor, and then doing what they did in the beginning of the second period while they were on the power play. Right, man? Oh man, they're thinking too much, and they're trying to. And I got to throw this in there too. JT Miller, you want everyone to be instinctual. Right now, this guy's being instinctual, really instinctual. And on home ice 3 times already this season. His inability to execute this dreamlike play has led to goals. And I believe 2 of them Well, the Calgary one wasn't shorthanded, but it was right after a penalty, power play for us.
Oh, the
Anyways,
Calgary one was shorthanded. It was
was
shorthanded. The Anthony
was it
Magical
after a
was shorthanded. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay, there you go. It was. It's all a blur. That's gonna stop. I know the comments are going off, and some people are talking about Pettersson, but yo, it's got to stop now because it's almost game 10, and he's been getting away with it because he's had to carry some of the offensive load that's missing from Pettersson. Like, he's still doing a lot. He's still doing a lot, but we're entering game 10, and that BS, that old school JT Miller from like 4 years ago, has to stop now. Because, again, Trevor, you can talk about the combinations and what to do and how to fix this. I'm telling you, nothing's getting fixed if JT Miller is playing like that on the power play. Like, it's got to stop now for it to be taken serious. And take it away, Beggsy, because I don't want to drop an F-bomb. JT Miller's so much tougher than me, and I'm sure this guy goes to like Fresh Street or Whole Foods and stuff, and he just, again. So take it away, Trevor.
Yeah, JT Miller really struggled on the power play tonight. But you know what? I think pretty much everyone struggled on the power play. And as Seif Studios is saying in the comments, Halloween costumes for all the Canucks tonight, they're all ghosts. And honestly, Kyle, there was maybe 4 Canucks tonight that I liked. I think Quinn Hughes is always skating hard and always doing his thing. He looks like he just looks like a man amongst boys out there, which is ironic because he's one of the smallest guys on the ice. Connor Garland, the smallest guy on the ice, dropping the gloves at three down, trying to spark the boys. I mean, we're talking about the smallest forward in the NHL, basically initiating a fight to get his team going. I mean,
and one of the shortest defensemen too. Last time I checked on this team. And Quinn, dude, sorry to cut you off, but Connor Garland, man, risking a concussion. Our second best forward all season long, risking a concussion to get the boys back into it on the eve of Halloween in Vancouver, down 3-0, and nothing came from it. The crowd played better, okay? Beautiful job by the crowd. No, straight up, yo. Rogers Arena ain't a quiet crowd. They stepping up. They doing their thing. It's 3-0. There's a belief in this group. They're pesky. They can do things. There's hope in the building, even when they're down by 3 goals against any team. And what do? They give Connor Garland the salute. Like they're yelling at his name. They're just building that momentum, quote unquote, right? And for what? Again, Garland risking his life for nothing. Carry on. Who are the other 2 guys that played well?
Unbelievable. Yeah. The other 2 guys that stood out to me was Pius Suter. Great work on the PK in the first. I feel like he single-handedly killed off that Devils penalty. Their first and only first of 2 power plays in the game. And then he has a couple chances. He's stirring it up. And then Kiefer Sherwood was the only guy who I thought was really going. But the rest of the Canucks, man. And there was man, oh man. And Silovs is one of them. Again, I'm not going to put this all on Silovs, but he looked a little shaky out there for sure. But there was a lot of Canucks tonight who absolutely sucked. And in terms of, again, Seth Studio saying in the comments, all the Canucks were ghosts tonight. No, I don't think Tyler Myers was a ghost. I think Tyler Myers might have been the most notable Canuck for all the wrong reasons. I think 2 of the goals were directly Myers' fault in terms of skating into Pettersson and then kind of getting caught on no man's land on that Timo Meier goal. So, again, a lot of frustrating performances from the Canucks tonight. Sev in the comments saying Sucklovs and Petter sucks. Ooh.
Yo,
that one hurt, man. That one hurt. But I want to touch on this other comment from Sev as well, saying Rick Tocchet is a bully and the player, especially Pettersson, doesn't feel comfortable around him. Sev, he's feeling that fire, okay? A devil just breathed fire down this guy's throat, man. Unbelievable. But I will push back on the Tocchet thing a little bit because I do think Rick Tocchet, and I've said this before, actually strikes the perfect balance between being a guy who is hard and firm, but is a player's guy too. And I think he understands how to be a player's coach. So there's a lot that I like in terms of Rick Tocchet, his coaching style and the balance he strikes. But the balance he did not strike tonight is that the guy had his finger on the blender button and he didn't take it off until the 3rd period when everything was all said and done. And again, I just felt like there was so much randomness in the lines that he put together. It's like he's doing it to punish guys instead of just like thinking, okay, what could actually work? And that bothers me.
Or how about have a little patience, man? Everyone have a little bit of patience, okay? Rick Tocchet, have more patience with Höglander. Let's be real. Let's be honest. Again, Archie Baines did absolutely nothing in the last game to have Höglander be pushed down the lineup. You know what I'm saying? Like if they're needing a spark and they want more offense and they want to reward somebody who's playing the game the right way and striking the court and making plays. Oh, you saw what happened in Carolina? Höglander wasn't doing that. Yo, let's move Archie Baines up there. That made no sense because Archie Baines, again, didn't do anything as well. And that's okay. That's okay. But Höglander, he's a vet in the league, sort of. 23 years old, but played a lot of games. You got to trust that guy to, like, bump out of the slump. You don't have to always, punish him ASAP, especially, in my opinion, after that line had about eight good periods out of 12. Too soon. And again, for somebody not deserving, it's kind of confusing. And I would just want him to be more patient with his line, straight up. And again, all of us just be a little patient. Okay, look at this. Look at this from my aunt right here. Okay, something is not working with Tocchet. Yo, can everyone close their eyes? Trevor, can you close your eyes? Okay, come on, man. Okay. It's okay. Okay, it's okay. We're going to be fine. Rick Tocchet's going to be fine. But Rick Tocchet was furious. And Trevor, can I ask you this? This might have been a bully tactic if he pulled it off. But are you surprised that, like, Miller or Pettersson didn't get benched in the third period? You know what I'm saying? Just to send somewhat of a message. And some in-game messaging from Rick Tocchet would be refreshing. I'm not going to lie. Like, call a timeout too. Why not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought about the timeout too, like early in the second for sure. After they gave up a couple goals, it's like, okay, let's settle things down here. And it's like, I think Connor Garland had to take it into his own hands and try to spark the boys in a different way because Rick Tocchet wasn't calling the timeout. But I'm not surprised that he didn't bench Miller and Pettersson. And the reason I say that is because I think a lot of players on the team suck tonight. A lot of players invisible. I think Daniel Sprong was trying to play hero puck a bit too much, always going for the long pass, the long opportunity, and mainly getting burned. Had a defensive zone turnover. That Nils Höglander was largely invisible. Obviously, Pettersson and Miller weren't really going. Jake DeBrusk struggled with the puck on his stick. So, like, there were so many Canucks not going tonight. Carson Soucy was bad. Like, I could go on and on, man. Like, I'm telling you, 4 Canucks were good tonight. The rest of the team was absolute ass. And you know what? there will be better days for this team, obviously. There's going to be games like this, although there hasn't been a game like this for the Canucks in 3 years. But it's still early on. Problems to solve. But Kyle, on the other side, I want to get to more of these comments here that are catching my attention. And I want to tell you why the Canucks, they might still win. They might get to the Stanley Cup Finals despite the mediocre start here.
For sure. No,
and
for
they
sure.
might still lose to an Eastern Conference opponent. More about that on the other side here on Locked On Canucks after we shouted our friends over at Gametime and PrizePicks. Man, oh man, I would tell you that go use the Gametime app to buy Canucks tickets, but after tonight, you might want to go buy tickets for something else, okay? Get some good comedy shows in town, some good music in town, okay? Baby stuff to move your shoulders to. But if you want to get soft in the pants, make sure you go get Canucks tickets on Gametime, okay? Gametime, no matter what tickets you're buying, they got the lowest price guarantee, baby. So you're getting tickets for nowhere else any cheaper, okay? And Gametime is stepping it up even further with this new feature called Gametime Picks. It makes tickets getting tickets for your favorite live events even easier. Gametime Picks, they filter out the fluff, baby, to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets, okay? On that app, you got the seat views, and of course, you got the lowest price guarantee and that Gametime ticket coverage, baby. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Gametime. Go download that Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Download Gametime today. What time is it? Gametime.
Bada bing, bada boom. One left the game.
All right. And if you're playing daily fantasy sports, I hope you bet the under on all the Canucks tonight because, man, oh, man, you would have gotten the sweep, baby. You would have gotten that thing that PrizePicks is always talking about when they say you can win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks, okay, with as little as 4 correct picks. And PrizePicks, they're the place for daily fantasy sports because they have over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded wings, okay? So sign up to PrizePicks today and get $50 instantly when you play just $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed, okay? And PrizePicks, they offer also weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday, okay? Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discount select player projections up to 25% more to add value to your lineups, okay? So download that PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNHL and get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
People, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Kyle Bowen, and Trevor Beggs. This time at the Burnaby Gardens. One love to the Don't Do's Art Collective for doing their thing for the West Coast Bias. One love to the Locked On Podcast Network, for just giving us this platform to do this and this and this and that and that. For again, you and you and you and you. And Trevor, man, risking his well-being because this guy likes to survive off of 12 hours of sleep. That's why he's the alpha human he is today, okay? Straight up. I always talk about Trevor being a hippie. It's because, dude, he's sleeping, okay? He's dreaming all the time, okay? For real. And he's doing this. And look at me. I just blocked my girlfriend's call. What? I have to do a post-game show, man. Like, what is this? What is this? We just lost 6-0 to the Devils. I feel like I'm captured by the Illuminati. That's what happened tonight, man. I'm in a dark place. In a really dark place. And some of these comments, man, in a dark place too, man. So we gotta somehow end this show off with some positivity after, we read some of these comments. Cause again, this is the home of the West Coast Bias and it's only game 9. Okay. 31 and a half years old. You figure that out. Okay. Wisdom, patience, it's needed. Anyways, Mike saying that the tickets should have been free with the effort that they gave tonight. Straight up. That's never going to happen. Like, you're never going to get a refund after spending $200 to watch a pathetic performance. Straight up. There were so many no-shows. It was embarrassing. And that's why I feel as if Rick Tocchet should do 2 things. First off, don't say much to the media, but say a lot to the boys. Because they played 9 games, and without Kevin Lankinen, maybe they're only winning 3 of them, maybe 2 of them, right? That's actually the truth. And they've only won 4 of them. So do the math, right? It's just not good enough, okay? Straight up, it's not good enough. But okay, so you won't get a refund. But do you think, like, when you get your ass kicked at home, fans should get like a free meal or something? Why not?
You should get some like free leftovers on the way out, right? I'm sure there's food that goes to waste,
Exactly.
right? Like, just give us a few hot dogs, man. Maybe a few little bags of popcorn. Come on, man. Just a little something.
I like it, man. See, you're a wise guy, man. And I think we're making a lot of sense, okay? Feed the people, especially when you get your ass kicked on home ice, okay? Look at this from Wallach, okay? This game feels like a gut punch, but maybe the rebound is coming. Going to California for a road trip with the boys, blah, blah, blah. Good time to get your ass kicked right before a road trip. You know what? You can take all these like moral philosophies and try to bring them into a situation like this. But at the end of the day, we just talked about JT Miller needing to be a lot better. This, again, has to be the end of the road for Pettersson, too. Like, when it comes to, enough is enough. You can't be no-showing 2 games in a row at home ice against good teams after what you've done over the past 50 games. Like, this team needs you. And we just talked about JT Miller, right? Like I said, he needs to be better. But, bro, this guy needs help. He needs help. I feel as if JT Miller, there's a chance, and maybe I'm putting too much of the blame on Pettersson, but there's a chance that he feels like he has to do the extra thing now because Pettersson's not doing it. Like, trying to make plays happen. You know what I'm saying? He's taking somewhat of a mantra within himself to just be the only offensive juggernaut down the middle on this team. And I feel like he's losing his balance. And he was just learning how to play defense and avoiding making all these turnovers. Again, the new JT Miller started last year. And at the start of the season, he looks like he's back to, again, that player that, the people have the audacity to compare Bo Horvat to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a risky player right now.
Yeah, he's a risky player. He's not getting the job done. I mean, he just looks like a completely different guy out there. I mean, he's still throwing the body around a bit more, and he's like trying to make a hit and trying to make a play, but he just doesn't look like Elias Pettersson. It's like, I wonder if there's some conspiracy theory going on here, man. And we said it when we did our conspiracy theory podcast about a week or so ago, but I wonder if someone captured Elias Pettersson in the offseason, or maybe sometime at the All-Star break last year, and they've replaced him with a different Elias Pettersson. I'm telling you.
Oh my God. I know what you're saying. You could just say it. You can say it. CBC aired it. I mean, like Roger Sportsnet aired it. Like, maybe the mushrooms Michael Boulay was doing with the boys, right? I'm not saying they did it for sure, but you're a product of who you hang out with. Hey, maybe Ilya Mikheyev made hockey boring for Elias Pettersson. Have you seen some of that rhetoric out there though? That like Rick Tocchet maybe doing that for Pettersson. What do you think about that?
You know what, man? I think there's some merit to that, but I also think there's some merit to this idea too. And Amphimous just got me shook in the comments saying that Pettersson completely changed after doing mushrooms with Michael Bublé.
Hey, allegedly, okay? Maybe he was actually abducted by aliens. Maybe he went too deep. Sometimes that happens, man. Look at this one from Static Official, man. Unbelievable. If Pettersson doesn't smarten up, I'm going to have to drop a diss track on his ass to give him a spark. Dude, slow down. Okay, Yo, Pettersson, again, enough is enough. Come on. Game 10 is the next game. You only got 4 points after 9. The team needs you. Is that fair to say? Like, yo, think about this, right? I feel like a situation like this can only happen once a year because you don't want Quinn Hughes playing 26 minutes a game against the Devils when you're down 5 or 6-0, because that's what he was doing. This team continued to play him. Why? Because Quinn Hughes wasn't leaving the ice. He was trying to leave a mark. He was trying to do something. He was trying to give the crowd something. Literally, he took it really seriously. Quinn Hughes is the ultimate leader, ultimate alpha. He was trying to do something. Do something. Willing this team to any sort of, again, something. Quinn Hughes, the ultimate leader, and Pettersson, can't you just see that and want to give back and do that? Like, it's time. It's time. It's not game 1. It's not game 3. It's not game 6, but it's about to be game 10, and it's time. Help this team out, straight up.
Yeah, it's almost hard. It's almost hard to believe how good Quinn Hughes is. I mean, in a night where the Canucks lose 6-0, Quinn Hughes was not on the ice for an even strength goal against. One of 5 Canucks that wasn't it, and he's barely been on the ice for any even strength goals this season. And I did a quick comparison to him and Cale Makar so far this season.
That's a crazy stat. That's a crazy stat. Crazy. So the only other goal he was on for was JT Miller's mistake when like that shorthand. Yeah. Unbelievable, man. Yo, Quinn Hughes, again, through 9 games, the way he's weaving in and out of every scenario he's in, and don't get me wrong, he's not perfect. He's been caught a couple times, but bro, the efficiency he's doing magic is beautiful. And you're talking about his defensive game or his defensive awareness being shown today by that crazy stat that Trevor Beggs just read out. I'm telling you, this guy's one of the 3 best players in hockey right now.
I think he might be the best player in hockey right now. And we talked about it earlier this week, average game score. This guy's got the best average game score in the NHL, but he's just absolutely buzzing, absolutely
what does
going
that mean?
every
What does
night.
that mean again? What does that mean though? Average game score? Can you say, I need to learn things 4 times. I'm slow. What does that mean?
Yeah. So again, our friends over at Hockey Stat Cards, they basically take goals, assists, on ice goals for, and then all like the expected goals, the Corsi, all those stats, blocks, hits, and they calculate an average game score at the end of the game. So some players end up negative, like Vinny D last game was like negative 2.5, but Quinn Hughes on the season is like 2.57 heading into tonight. It was the highest average game score in the league. Like Connor McDavid had the best average game score last season too. So it's to me, it's a good indicator of like who one of the best players in the NHL is, and Quinn Hughes is right up there right now. And quick comparison to Cale Makar, who was leading the NHL in points earlier this week. Cale Makar has still been on the ice for more goals against than goals for. Cale Makar right now on the ice for 10 goals for, 11 goals against heading into tonight. Quinn Hughes, 10 goals for, 4 goals against. I mean, the guy gets it done on both ends of the ice, unlike someone like Cale Makar, who is all flash and less substance. Our boy
You're
Quinn
taking
Hughes.
it too far there, buddy. West Coast bias, you smoking that West Coast bias tonight. Okay, one left to you. But Cale Makar, man, he's dealing with a team that's like half injured and doesn't get goaltending. But again,
Quinn Hughes is carrying the whole goddamn Vancouver Canucks team right now.
I get it, but I'm just gonna say this, okay? And this is totally cool to say. Sure, you want him to be the best out of those 2, go ahead. But I'm saying the fact that this guy is in that conversation and going to be there forever alongside Cale Makar, because there's only going to be 2 of those spots for the next decade and a half. Next decade, I'll say the next 10 years, it's only going to be those 2 guys. That's how crazy those 2 players are. Like they're a tier above the Adam Foxes. It's just the truth. Again, the fact that we can say that with confidence by all these data points too, dude, that is Conn Smythe worthy, literally. So even after we lose a game 6-0, just remember, like, we've never had it like this before, Canucks fans. We've had a lot of great players, but we've never effing had a Quinn Hughes, straight up. And because of that, I totally believe that this unit, if Pettersson wakes up, take your time, though, be patient. I'll be patient with you. And Quinn Hughes, like, we're going to win a cup, okay? We're going to win a cup.
Yeah, honestly, I can see this team again. It's been a bit of a rough start, but I can easily see the team rebounding and get into the Stanley Cup Finals. But Kyle, I'm not going to lie, and maybe this will be going a little dark here. I worry about them against an Eastern Conference opponent because we saw the Carolina Hurricanes look about 2 steps faster than the Vancouver Canucks. The New Jersey Devils look a couple steps faster than the Vancouver Canucks. I think of other teams in the Leafs in the East, like the Leafs, the Lightning, the Panthers, not so much the Rangers, but you had a lot of quick teams in the Eastern Conference, and I'm honestly wondering if the Canucks can keep up with them.
I understand where you're coming from based on like the facts and also based on player types being so different on both teams. And Look at this comment from Anthemous. We got to talk about this, right? I swear tonight proves that our second D pair is losing us games. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that's what he's saying. And yeah, it's, against fast teams and like those small slash medium sized quick attack teams who move the puck really fast and just have skill all around them. You can compete with that with like big ass defensemen straight up. You could, but they have to be moving efficiently. Okay. Straight up. They can't be making mistakes at the rate that Vincent Desharnais, Tyler Myers, Carson Soucy are making. And Vinny D didn't even play today, but Tyler Myers looked exactly like Vincent Desharnais. He did. And those other, again, Soucy and Myers have, I would probably put Soucy at the top of the list, but Tyler Myers would definitely be second, okay? Straight up, like as far as like most disappointing players, outside of Pettersson too, sorry, like, and Jake DeBrusk. Dude, what's going on, bro? That's okay. We don't have Demko and Joshua, and those 4 guys have been so bad, like C- worthy, okay? So, you know what? We'll be fine. It's not going to be a full 82 game thing, but that's a big reason why the Canucks only have 4 wins in 9 games.
Yeah, and only 3 in regulation. A couple more comments before we get out of here on Locked On Canucks. Your Canucks every day after a 6-0 loss. Oh, God, that was a gut punch. SK93 saying Lekker has been great on the PP in the AHL. Maybe call him up. And Kyle, I think it might be a bit too soon for that, but I don't know if SK93 is that far off here.
I don't think he is.
Jonathan Lekker before? I'm going to put it this way. Could we see Jonathan Lekker in the NHL before the end of 2024?
I think because we've seen R.C. Baines all over the top 6, that possibility is the truth. Because if that's happening, then again, Lekker and his ability has to get a look there. And this is not a moment to like talk down on, again, one of the kings of Surrey, like, seriously an inspirational figure and somebody that's going to have a long career in hockey. And with the Canucks, I just think that type of opportunity is not his yet. He's still a ways away, Like, he can go and figure it out and try to be a Sam Lafferty in the bottom 6, you know what I'm saying? Like, pick up the timing, do all those things, and you can get away with it in regular season games early on, but I don't know if you can get away with that against good teams even early on in the regular season. Like, that's not good enough. It's just not the truth. So, but again, he keeps getting shots, and that ultimately means that Tocchet's, really favoring him, but also he's looking for answers. And the last string or the last answer is going to be Dakota Joshua. He's going to get a shot up there as soon as he's feeling good. And I don't know how that connects to your power play point, but at the end of the day, Lekker can't be far away. If a couple things keep happening, that's the struggling power play. And again, finding Pettersson something, man. I don't know. Some help. I don't know, dude. Bro, dude,
Yeah,
what's going on?
It's honestly, we're already getting sick of talking about it. And again, it's the biggest story in Vancouver right now, aside from Thatcher Demko's health, in my opinion. Actually, I would argue it's probably the biggest story in Vancouver right now. And I just hope Pettersson finds his mojo, man. I don't know what he needs, man. Start brainstorming in the comments, and maybe those aliens that abducted the real Elias Pettersson can return him sometime soon. But let's end on a positive note. I want to give it to Kurt Richardson. I think this is positive. Kurt Richardson in the comments saying, good reality check tonight. The Canucks needed a good beatdown. They've been lucky collecting points while not playing well or having 60-minute efforts. And you know what? Honestly, I think he makes a good point. It's even in some of their wins, like the Pittsburgh game, they started slow, for instance. And their other 2 wins over, Philly was a complete game. Chicago was a complete game where you're playing 2 pretty bad teams. I think tonight was a night where, again, they got their asses handed to them. And you know what? Last season, a major turning point was that loss to Philadelphia. And I know the score wasn't as dramatic, but it was a game where you looked at this team going, man, oh man, we're going to see the same old crap that we've seen in past seasons. And they turned it around, went on a heater, and never really looked back. And I do wonder if we look back on tonight's game in a month or 2 months' time and wonder if this is tonight where things turn around for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, and just a reminder, like, things are not going to go back to how they were going in the past based on what we've shown in 9 games. Like, the ceiling of this team based on their personnel allows it to be pretty high. And again, Quinn Hughes being the leader, being the top dog, being one of the best players in hockey right now equates to, again, positive vibes. It's going to happen. We're going to be back in the dance. Things are going to happen. This is a good hockey team. Quinn Hughes is not going to let this ship ever sink as long as he's playing hockey at this level. It's impossible. That's how good he is right now. Straight up. But as Kurt was saying, this is what we needed, a reminder that we're not good enough right now. We haven't played a full 60. And quite frankly, they could have got this reminder in their last game. But Lankinen didn't allow them to go down by 3 goals. You know what I'm saying? Or 4. Like, he just held it down. That game could have been 6-1. But it wasn't. It is what it is. It's the fine things, right? But at the end of the day, it's not that surprising that, I mean, in one sense it is, because you'd want the team to rebound mentally, but because they kind of got away with it, they didn't really take it that seriously. Because this is a new team and they've only been good for like 13 months. And as Tocchet alludes to, like, you kind of need these learning lessons to get through it. And that's to the other side. And Pettersson, man, honestly, man, one love to Pettersson again. Trevor and I feel as if we connected through Elias Pettersson. Okay. In the studio, we saw Elias Pettersson score his first goal in this spot right here. And we're like, yo, we could do this. Post Henrik and Daniel, we could do this. He's still that guy. I got a lot of trust in him, but it's time. That's how we're going to end the episode. It's time. Game 10. It's time. It's time. We've had enough. I'm tired of watching Canucks games where Teddy Bluger is our second best center. Pia Suter's been better than Pettersson for like 6 months. If you bring it back to like March, April. Trevor, man, shut me up. Hit all the links in the bio. One love to the postgame show, the postcast. One love to the Locked On Senators for giving it, letting us use that name here. And Trevor Beggs, thanks for choosing us over your well-being, man. Oh, your mic's cut off.
My wife's in the background chirping me for being dramatic, man. But I'm emotional, Kyle. You're emotional, and I believe Elias Pettersson's gonna get back there, man. He's gotta move those shoulders, man. Come on.
Hey, Canucks are winning the cup, baby.
Find that groove. There we go. Okay, that was another episode of Locked On Canucks. Shout out to the everydayers, occasional listeners, first-time listeners, new subscribers, and those of you who join us on the live show on YouTube. We love each and every one of you. Locked On Canucks ain't nothing without you. Go subscribe, like the video on YouTube if you haven't already, and on the podcast side, go follow and leave a 5-star review. I'll come to your house and we'll have some 420 friendly conversations, man. But for now, we got to get out of here. I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Kyle Down. And you've been listening to Locked On Canucks.